So hello, today is Sunday vlogging, and this week I'm actually going to do another book. I usually wouldn't do that except for the fact that yesterday was actually Dr. Seuss's birthday. And I wanted to celebrate Dr. Seuss because he was great for writing books for children and opening children's imaginations. Dr. Seuss actually died in 1991, and his last book was Oh, the Places You Could Go. However, I'm going to read a book to you called Hooray for Diffendorfer Day. Now, this book was originally written by Dr. Seuss, but he didn't complete it before he died. So, person by the name of Jack Perlunsky and Lane Smith actually finished the book. So, here we go. And they also dedicated this book to him. So, hooray for hooray for Diffendorfer Day. I've always lived in Dinkerville. My friends all live here too. We go to Diffendorfer School. We're happy that we do. Our school is at the corner of Dinkzuber and Dinkzot. It looks like any other school, but we suspect it's not. I think we're learning lots of things not taught at other schools. Our teachers are remarkable. They make up their own rules. Miss Wobble teaches listening. Miss Bobble teaches listening. Miss Wobble teaches smelling. Miss Fribble teaches laughing. And Miss Quibble teaches yelling. Miss Twining teaches tying knots in neckerchiefs and noodles, and how to tell chrysanthemums from miniature poodles. Miss Vining teaches all the ways a pigeon may be peppered, and how to put a saddle on a lizard or a leopard. My teacher is, that's the teacher there. My teacher is Miss Bonkers. She's as bouncy as a flea. I'm not certain what she teaches, but I'm glad she teaches me. Look, look, she chirps, I'll show you how to tell a cactus from a cow. And then I shall instruct you why a hippo cannot hope to fly. She even teaches frogs to dance and pigs to put on underpants. One day she taught a duck to sing. Miss Bonker teaches everything. Of all the teachers in our school, I like Miss Bonkers best. Our teachers are all different, but she's different-er than the rest. She's just standing on her hands. We also have a principal. His name is Mr. Lowe. He is the very saddest man that any of us know. He mumbles, "Are they learning this and that and such and such and such?" His face is wrinkled as a prune from worrying so much. He breaks a lot of pencil points from pushing down too hard, and many dogs start barking as he mopes around the yard. We think he wears false eyebrows. In fact, we're sure it's so. We've heard he takes them off at night. I guess we'll never know. See him taking them off right there? But we know he likes Miss Bonkers. He treats her like a queen. He always there to watch her when she's jumping on her trampoline. See her right there, jumping? There are many other people who make Diffendorfer run. They are utterly amazing. I love every single one. Our nurse, Miss Clot, knows what to do when we've got sniffles for the flu. One day I had a splinter, so she bandaged me from head to toe. Mr. Plunger, our custodian, has fashioned a machine, a super zuper flooper doo. It keeps the whole school clean. Our music teacher, Mrs. Fox, makes bagpipes out of straws and socks. Our art instructor, Mr. Breeze, paints pictures hanging by his knees. See him hanging by his knees right there. In science class with Mr. Katz, we learn to build robotic ruts. In gym, we watch as Mr. Bear hoists elephants into the air. Miss Loon is our librarian. She hides behind the shelves and often cries out, "Louder!" when reading to ourselves. Now here, I'm going to stop right here because this is where the illustrators he wrote paid homage to Dr. Seuss with some of his books. Do you see some of his books in there? There's one, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and The Cat in the Hat, and all sorts of different ones that Dr. Seuss wrote. Wasn't that nice of them to do? And oh, look there. Who might that elephant be? Do you know the story of Horton Hears a Who? We have 3 cooks, all named McMunch, who merrily prepare our lunch. They make us hot dogs, beans, and fries, plus things we don't recognize. And as they cook, they sing their song, not too short and not too long. Roast and toast and slice and dice, cooking lunch is oh so nice. They're standing on each other's shoulders. I don't know how they can cook like that. There's the cafeteria. See? We were eating their concoctions, telling jokes and making noise, when Mr. Lowe appeared and hollered, "Attention, boys and girls and boys." He began to fuss and fidget, scratch and mutter, sneeze and cough. He shook his head so hard, we thought his eyebrows would fall off. He wrung his hands, he cleared his throat, he shed a single tear, then sobbed, "I'm something to announce, and that is why I'm here. All schools for miles and miles around must take a special test to see who's learning such and such, to see which school's the best. If our small school does not do well, then it will be torn down, and you will have to go to school in dreary Flobbertown." Ooh, that doesn't sound too good. "Not Flobbertown," we shouted, and we shuddered at the name. For everyone in Flobbertown does everything the same. It's miserable in Flobbertown. They dress in just one style. They sing one song. They never dance. They march in single file. They do not have a playground, and they do not have a park. Their lunches have no taste at all. Their dogs are scared to bark. See, they all look the same. Miss Bonkers rose. "Don't fret," she said. You've learned the things you need to pass the test and many more. I'm certain you'll succeed. We've taught you that the earth is round, that red and white makes pink, and something else that matters more. We've taught you how to think. I hope you're right, sighed Mr. Lowe. He shed another tear. The test is in 10 minutes, and you're taking it right here. We sat in shock and disbelief. Oh no, we moaned, oh no. We weren't even more unhappy than unhappy, Mr. Lowe. But then the test was handed out. Yahoo! We yelled, Yahoo! For it was filled with all the things that we all knew we knew. There were questions about noodles and poodles, frogs and yelling, about listening and laughing, and chrysanthemums and smelling. There were questions about other things we'd never seen or heard. And yet we somehow answered them, enjoying every word. One week later, after recess, Mr. Lowe meandered in. We've never seen him smile before, but now he wore a grin. He soon began to giggle, then his giggle grew by half. And then it really happened. Mr. Lowe began to laugh. You've saved our school, you've saved our school, he jubilantly roared. We got the very highest score. He wrote it on the board. It looks like 10 million%. Or 10, I guess that's 10 billion%. Oh well, it's a lot of numbers. Mrs. Bonkers did some cartwheels. Look at her doing cartwheels on top of his head, till her face turned cherry red. She bounced up to Mr. Lowe and kissed him right on top of the head. Hooray, hooray, she shouted. I'm so proud I cannot speak. So she did another cartwheel, and she pecked him on the cheek. Coughed Mr. Lowe. You all deserve a bow. I thus declare a holiday. It starts exactly now. Because you've done so splendidly in every sort of way, this day forever shall be known as Diffendorfer Day. And furthermore, I promise I won't even wear a frown, for now I know we'll never go to dreary Flobbertown. Then we held a celebration. There was pizza, milk, and cake. Like everyone, I ate too much, and I got a bellyache. We laughed and whooped and hollered the entire school day long. Then we all sang triumphantly the Diffendorfer song. Look at them all celebrating there. We love you, Diffendorfer School. We definitely do. There surely is no other school that's anything like you. You're grubulous, you're grobulous. Each day we love you more. You are the school we treasure and unceasingly adore. Oh, finest school in Dinkerville, the only one as well. We love you, Diffendorfer School, much more than we can tell. You are so Diffendorferous, it gives us joy to say, 3 cheers for Diffendorfer School. They're still celebrating. And what do you think they're going to say? Hooray! 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 And that is the end. What is cool about this book is, as I said, this book was written after Dr. Seuss had passed away. He did write this book, but he had only written parts of the book, and he had done parts of the illustration. He never did actually see this go to print. The 2 authors that I told you about earlier actually finished the book and published it under the Dr. Seuss name. The thing about this is in the back of this book it tells how this book came to be. And it shows Dr. Seuss. This is actually what he did look like. And it says in the book that his friends actually called him Ted because his name was actually Theodore. It also shows many of the illustrations that he originally did. And as you can see, they weren't completed, but he had written parts of the story. What the other two authors did was they took the story and added their own flair to it. And they also gave homage to Dr. Seuss by adding many of his cartoon works for the book, and adding, like I showed you, paying homage to him on different pages, like when they showed the different books that Dr. Seuss had read. So, as I said, today, or actually yesterday, since you're reading it, which would have been March 2nd, was Dr. Seuss's birthday. So happy birthday, Dr. Seuss. We do miss you and all your writings, and many, many children have loved your books as I loved them books too. So read this one, Dr. Seuss's Hooray for Diffendorfer Day. See you next time. Bye-bye.